Welcome back to Planet Phobia. In today's episode, we continue our countdown of the top 100 horror movies of the 2010s. Today, we look at the 5th best movie from each year of the decade and rank them against each other as we work our way to the number 1 horror movie of the 2010s. "2011 saw Wes Craven's masterpiece Scream have its 4th addition to the franchise. This one is a fun time. While introducing us to new characters to the Woodsboro universe, it also brings back fan favorites Sidney Prescott, Dewey Riley, and Gale Weathers. Taking place on the 15th anniversary of the original Woodsboro murders, 2 high school students are killed just as Sidney makes her way back into town to promote her new self-help book. Evidence is found in her car, and she becomes the prime suspect. By this point in the series, we know the premise, and the plot follows this with some interesting twists. Watch as new killers pick up the mantle of the original Ghostface while Sidney clears her name. Great action in this one, and if you're a fan of Scream, this one is sure to entertain. Scream 4 can be streamed on Amazon Prime. Devil. This supernatural horror flick came from the writings of M. Night Shyamalan and revolves around 5 strangers trapped in an elevator. But one of them is no mere human. Oh no, one of them is the devil. I thought this would be a fun one to throw on the list. It's certainly no masterpiece, but is a very decent horror movie that often gets overlooked. The narrator for the film explains how the devil roams the earth in search of unrepentant souls that it can take back to hell. This one definitely has the feel of an early 2010s movie. Follow the intrigue and paranoia of the 5 people trapped in the elevator. Watch as the different storylines play out while trying to figure out which one is the horned beast of Hades. Right now, it seems to only be available with video on demand. I don't blame you if you don't want to pay to see this one, but if you get the chance, it is a mid-grade horror movie and makes for an excellent watch.
What is that? Hannah?
The Visit. Video on demand, or you can actually watch it for free right here on YouTube. Here's a shocker. M. Night Shyamalan makes another appearance on one of my top 10 list videos. Actually, it's anything but shocking. I should start charging this guy rent.
Hi, Pearl. You don't have to raise your voice.
The Visit is an hour and a half of full-on deranged fun, following brother and sister Becca and Tyler, who are shipped off to stay with their grandparents who they have never met. We slowly learn something is off. The grandfather has a hidden stash of dirty adult diapers, and the grandmother has an affliction known as sundowning. This is actually very interesting and causes sufferers to become confused and aggressive once the sun goes down. Soon the awful truth is revealed in horrifying ways. This movie could be considered underrated. It delivers on everything a horror fan can ask for. The Visit is packed with great scenes of tension broken up by scenes of awkward comedy. The hide-and-seek scene with the grandmother is solid, and the old diaper-to-the-face scene to the poor kid who is a germaphobe has burrowed into my gray matter. If you haven't seen The Visit, go check this one out today. I highly recommend it.
I think that Will and I should be the only ones who go outside for a while. We don't know what made Stanley sick. We don't know anything. Nobody touched him, so I think we're fine, right?
It comes at night. After a contagious disease ravages the planet, a man, his wife, and their teenage son seek refuge in their secluded home located deep in the woods. We are introduced to Paul, Sarah, and Travis. Soon we find out the dire situation they are in, as Sarah's father, who is also staying with them, contracts the disease. We watch as he is killed and his body burned in an attempt to stave off this mysterious contagion. Soon, an unknown intruder is captured breaking into the secluded home. Here, the story takes a turn, as the man captured convinces Paul to retrieve the rest of his family and to survive together. Joel Edgerton has a strong performance in this one. This movie creates an unnerving sense of impending doom, and I highly recommend giving this one a try.
Sanford Police Department.
Help me. I'm trapped. I think they might all be dead.
Number 5 on the best of 2014 list lands us here with Last Shift, an often overlooked and underrated movie with paranormal themes. Last Shift follows rookie police officer Jessica Lauren, whose first assignment is working the last shift at a police station before it is shut down for good, the same place where her late father also worked. A hazmat team shows up to the police station to remove evidence, with the commanding officer telling Jessica to stay at her post no matter what. Soon she encounters a woman clearly distraught and warning the officer about a satanic cult that is after her. From here, reality and illusion mix together in a spellbinding tale unfolding before our very eyes. Jessica begins to hear strange sounds and has visions of horrible things. Soon the truth begins to unravel. She learns of the cult who worship Payman and its charismatic leader. With themes of paranoia and paranormal activity, Last Shift is sure to scratch your horror itch, with an ending well worth the wait. Number 5, The Platform. This Spanish horror film checks all the boxes for me, showing the horror of humanity and, more importantly, actually being original. Being original is so important to me. It's so commonplace now to rehash an already existing idea and slap part 2 or part 3 on it. Seeing a movie like this was definitely a breath of fresh air. Taking place on a descending platform that travels 333 levels, we see how each level is different, and the same can be said for the inhabitants of each level. Each day the platform is lowered with a bounty of delicious gourmet offerings for the people to eat. If you happen to be located on the top 50 floors, there's a good chance you won't go to bed hungry. But as we travel lower, the true depravity of this movie comes into focus. What happens to a person forced to live in horrible conditions, fearful of their companions, delusional from lack of food? What lengths will be taken to survive? For answers to these questions, go check out The Platform today. Number 5, The Endless. This standout from 2018 follows two brothers, Justin and Aaron Smith. Forced to grow up in a commune where the community members are part of a UFO death cult can definitely make you feel a certain way. This movie explores the brothers trying to find answers to their past. In order to do that, they must visit the commune they haven't seen since their youth. This movie is visually stunning. The storyline is a strange case study on our perception of reality, what it means to each of us, and how it can be altered. The strange land the commune sits on holds many secrets. The Endless secures its position as one of 2018's best horror films.
Doesn't look like anyone's home. Here, look at this.
These tapes only affect you if you play it in a correct sequence.
VHS 2. 2013 brought us the second edition to the VHS franchise, bringing with it the found footage horror that we love. This series is famous for splicing different stories together, similar to an anthology, for me in a more enjoyable format, loosely tying them all together, or at least seen as a collection of similarly depraved videos. The entries for this one include Tape 49, which introduces us to the actual VHS tape being discovered. Phase 1 Clinical Trials. Here, a man gets a cybernetic ocular implant after losing an eye in an accident. Now he discovers he has the ability to see the dead. A Ride in the Park. Zombies. Safe Haven is all about a film crew making a documentary about a cult that soon turns deadly. Surprise, surprise, in horror, cult plus film crew always equals death. Slumber Party Alien Abduction is pretty self-explanatory, but makes for one hell of a creepy vignette. Add in some narration and interludes and you end up with the number 5 best horror movie of 2013. Thanks to our dear friend Tubi, you can watch this one for free today.
Now you're gonna see what I see.
Number 5, Don't Breathe. This movie stars Jane Levy and Stephen Lang. The plot follows three intruders trapped in a blind man's home. That's cool because it shares some parallels with the number 10 movie on this list, Hush. Wait a minute, that might be a good idea for a future video. Sweet. This movie breaks down fast. At first, as the audience, we might feel bad for the old blind man as he's about to be robbed. But not this old blind man. He's a Gulf War vet who has a vicious Rottweiler guard dog and a secret or two of his own. Learning that his daughter was killed, the man conceives a plan to create a new daughter for himself, so he finds a surrogate to carry his offspring. Once she is accidentally murdered, his attention becomes focused on Rocky, played by Levy. Don't Breathe is a stroke of horror genius, and I don't know about you, but the turkey baster scene is, for better or worse, seared into my memory. The OG VHS. This found footage style movie was groundbreaking for its time and set the foundation for what would become a massive franchise. Tying together 5 different segments into a loosely connected storyline, this anthology-like movie struck a chord with horror fans in 2012. From the tapes being discovered to the horrors that are on display with each push of the play button, VHS proved itself as a fan favorite and still stands as a great movie over a decade after its release. If it's your first time watching, or if you'd like to revisit this trendsetter, you can do it today on Tubi. Horror fans, we've cracked the top half of our countdown. I don't know about you, but to me it seems Don't Breathe finds itself too low on the list. But when you go back to 2016, I ranked it as number 5. That year had so much good horror, like The Witch, The Autopsy of Jane Doe, and Train to Busan. I had accounted for this when I compiled the list and knew some movies might get the shaft depending on what year it came out. What do you think so far? See any movies you think should be higher? Let me know. Drop a comment and share your thoughts. Until next time, this is Planet Phobia signing off, and as always, wishing you good luck on your horror journey.